Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your midday news fix for Monday the 10th of March. Pharmac's been told to improve its relationship with patients and tackle supply. A report's been released today looking into the government drug buying agency. Political reporter Azaria Howell has more.
The reviews found the agency is seen as defensive, slow to respond and lacking in respect for patient advocates. Pharmac has been urged to speak with advocates who will select people to work alongside the agency's board. Chair Paula Bennett says they've heard very clearly they need to make sure interactions are respectful and people's voices are valued.
Banking chief executives are in front of Parliament again around the inquiry into competition. The government's aiming to let Kiwibank access more capital to help it compete against the Australian-owned banks. ANZ Chief Executive Antonia Watson says their bank has to strike a fine balance on affordability and return on equity.
It's fair and it's driven by competition, and you see that competition sort of drive us towards that fair cost of capital.
A new set of amendments looks to turbocharge major infrastructure projects. The government's proposing changes to the Public Works Act to speed up acquiring land, including premium payments to private landowners. The Environment Court will be sidelined from the objections process. Infrastructure Minister Chris Bishop told Mike Hosking a lot of these are NZTA roading projects.
No one likes taking land. We don't do it with a great degree of passion, but the reality is if we want to build stuff in this country and get those roads going that we need and public transport projects that we need, it will require taking land.
And the government may only be putting up 4 projects for public-private partnerships at its Infrastructure Investment Summit later this week. It's invited large companies from 14 countries to drive foreign capital into New Zealand. Northern Infrastructure Forum Executive Director Barney Irvine told Mike Hosking there's a positive glow around the New Zealand market and investors are liking the signal so far. But we need to retain this interest.
They need to see a pipeline of high-quality funded projects, and if they don't see that, that glow will very likely fade.
President Donald Trump's raising doubts about Ukraine's future. Officials from the two countries will meet for fresh talks in Saudi Arabia this week. Other world leaders have ramped up their efforts to back Ukraine in the absence of US military aid and intelligence sharing. Trump's accused Ukraine of being ungrateful of US aid during an interview with Fox News.
Are you comfortable with that? The fact that you walked away and Ukraine may not survive?
Well, it may not survive anyway.
Fonterra's increased its full-year earnings guidance from 40 to 60 cents per share to 55 to 75 cents. It comes as the dairy co-op is starting meetings with potential investor groups in New Zealand, Australia and Asia as it looks to sell off its consumer arm, including Mainland and Anchor. To sport, Arsenal have earned a point at Manchester United with a 1-1 draw in football's Premier League, but remain 15 points behind leaders Liverpool with a game in hand. Shane van Gisbergen has been involved in a schmozzle of an accident at the latest NASCAR event at Phoenix, ending his race. New Zealand Rugby is introducing a standalone national under-18 team to the men's high-performance pathway program. They will play 2 away fixtures against their Australian counterparts in September and October. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.